Here you go.
What is this?
It's your favorite.
I thought my favorite was supposed to be something I actually liked.
What are you talking about? This is your favorite vegetarian meal that I always make for you.
Oh, I stopped being vegetarian this morning.
Well, when were you going to tell me?
I literally just did.
So I just wasted 2 hours making this?
Well, I didn't ask you to do that, did I?
Okay, so then what new fad diet are you doing now then?
Well, since you asked, I'm doing the baby food diet from 9 to 5. Do not touch my peaches. Do not touch them. That's my favorite. And for dinner, I swallow a tapeworm.
What? Where in the hell are you going to get a tapeworm from?
Don't worry about it. I got it. But you don't trust me to be able to find a tapeworm?
No, it's not that I don't trust you. I just thought maybe I could help you find the tapeworm.
Help me find a tapeworm. It sounds like an excuse for you to be all up in my business.
Never mind, I can't. Why does every conversation have to end up like this?
It doesn't have to end like this if you never started in the first place. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am self-aware diagnosed narcissist Lee Hammock, and I use my platform to raise awareness for narcissistic personality disorder, get more people into therapy, and also raise awareness from people, raise awareness and validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. If this is your first time seeing my face, this series right here is dedicated to just making my TikToks and my YouTube shorts longer. They are 60 seconds or less. This is going to be a lot longer than 60 seconds. So, the skit you just watched was between me and a lady named Cynthia. She goes by Sinful. She has a page on YouTube. She does narcissistic content, narcissist abuse content, and recovery and stuff like that as well. But the kitchen skit, y'all. Kitchen. Cooking with a narcissist. Cooking for a narcissist. Cooking for a toxic person. How does that feel to you? A lot of people get triggered by that skit. I posted it before, but sometimes like right now, I'm not at home, so I'm reposting some things right there and going into greater detail. But that right there triggers a lot of people. That skit I just did, it triggers a lot of people to, react. They react to that type of stuff right there because it hurts. It sucks. A lot of people say, I spent hours in the kitchen and then they come home and tell me that they already ate, or it's too hot, or it's too cold, it's bland. There's no seasoning to it. There's no seasoning. Cooking, but like this is kind of just like parallel, its own parallel to the point that nothing you do for a narcissistic person will ever be enough. It just won't. There's nothing you can do on this planet that will ever be enough for a true narcissist. And if you're dealing with a true narcissist or not. They don't have to be diagnosed to be a true narcissist. I know people are like, but they're not diagnosed. How do people get diagnosed? They have to go to therapy. If they're refusing to go to therapy, that's all you need to know. They know, because when they refuse to go to therapy, that's an acknowledgement that they know something is going on, but they would rather blame you. You're the issue. It's on you. It really is on you. You're the issue. Are you not? Is it not on you? Think about it. They'll put it on you. They'll rather blame you than go to therapy. They'd rather blame you than get some help. And like, even in the kitchen, you know what I mean? Like me, myself personally, I'm always on some kind of fad diet. I'm always, I have body dysmorphia. Like my brain, I don't see myself the way the world sees me. I just don't. You can ask my wife, she'll tell me stuff like that. I just don't see myself the way the world sees me. I'm a published model. I'm got some more modeling jobs coming up here soon. Y'all can call me ugly how you want to, but I'm about to be in got photo shoots coming up here next Monday, the 15th. But I'm a published model. I'm an actor. I do stuff online and things like that. But people can call me handsome all they want to, but I don't see it. I don't feel handsome. I feel like a little tiny ass boy. I used to weigh almost 300 pounds. I still feel like that 300 pound person. So I'm very conscious about what I eat. So if it's not perfect or if it's not part of my diet, I just disregard it. That's why my wife rarely ever cooks for me because she doesn't know my diet. She'll come in there and she'll be like, "What are you eating?" She'll cook something. She's like, or like right now, I'm not eating a lot of cheese. She'll be like, "Oh, he's not eating cheese," so she doesn't cook for me, which is cool because I'm into fitness stuff anyway, which is cool. She don't cook for me. I don't need her to cook for me, but she wants to cook sometimes, but she doesn't know what to cook because she doesn't know what I'm doing. I'll be doing keto for 2 weeks, and then I'll kick it off and do the Atkins diet, or I'll do intermittent fasting. I'm not eating till 1. You know what I mean? See, that tapeworm example, I've never ate a tapeworm, but narcissistic people do stuff like that, fad diets to fit in. Or fad diets that just feel bad about themselves, doing stuff to make them feel different, doing stuff to make them stand out. I'm not eating that. I'm eating a tapeworm tonight so I can look better than you. Like at least one of us cares about our appearance. just to take a shot at you. Nothing you say, nothing you do will ever be enough for a narcissistic person. It just won't. I know that sometimes people take that the wrong way, like I'm trying to be disparaging towards them. I'm not being disparaging towards you. I'm just trying to wake you up and let you know, realize your words and your actions are not enough for that narcissist. They just won't be. And if you feel like they are, they'll move the goalpost. So something that they used to be happy about, they won't be happy anymore about it. Something that you used to cook and that they liked, they're not going to eat anymore because they switched their diet up. Now you cooking healthy meals? Oh, this is not. How many fat did you measure? Did you get correct measurements? I need to put this in my MyFitnessPal app. Did you measure this correctly? Did you measure it out? Oh, you didn't? Oh, I can't eat it. Perfectly good meal go to waste because you didn't measure it correctly. Again, nothing you say or do will be enough for a narcissistic person. It just won't be. So cooking for a narcissist, do it at your own. Do it at your own. Cook for them at your own risk. Like I said, I've got horror stories in my I'm telling y'all, I got horror stories in my comment section since I posted that video. People are just like, "Oh my God, this is so triggering." I'm like, "Goodness gracious!" And I always got to add some comedy to my skits. I just do. But you should see the comments, like some of the comments in this video. You mean, my husband is like this. He won last night. In my head, I could hear you say, "Don't react." He caught me off guard, and I reacted. So people are watching my videos. They get disrespected in the kitchen and they don't want to react because they get disrespected in the kitchen. Because I tell people, your greatest power against a narcissist is not to react. They want to see a reaction. They want to know that they can hurt your feelings. They want to know that they can trigger you in the kitchen. Oh, this is disgusting. She reacts. He knows that he knows that next time, all he has to do is disrespect her food or her cooking to get her to react out of character. And guess what happens next time? Got the phone on you, recording. You're crazy. Told y'all she crazy. Look. All I told her was I didn't want to eat this, and she's throwing the whole fit on her. Look at this person, y'all. Look at her. Look at her. Look at him acting a monkey in here. Look at him. Control your reactions. Your reactions are your power. I cannot harp that enough, y'all. I'm just telling y'all really legitimately. Narcissists, we like to trigger people. It's triggering you is fun. Like, Lee, I just lost respect for you right there, brother, because you said triggering me is fun. Triggering, being able to control people's emotions and how they feel and how they act is a power move to a narcissistic person. It feels good. It does. Because sometimes I feel like I can't control my own stuff. So like what makes me feel in control is doing stuff to that person, doing something to somebody else. I'm better at it now because I'm in therapy, but your person is not in therapy typically. Or they're in therapy, using therapy to manipulate you even more. That happens too. Yeah, so that happens a lot too. So you have to be able to stand in your truth and stand in your power. I know I say that a lot too. Because it's true. It really is the truth. You have to be able to stand in your power. You have to be able to stand in your truth, because if you don't, you lose. It's like a battle. It's an ongoing battle, ongoing war with a narcissist to do this stuff, to get stuff done, to win, to trigger you, or to not to trigger or not to trigger. That is the question at dinner time. So don't react. I know it's tough. I know it's like control your reactions. So if you react, don't give them the reaction that they are looking for. They don't want your cooking. Don't throw a fit on them. Just take the plate away and walk away. Oh, really? Thanks. I won't cook for you again. Say that and then walk away. You win, but watch your back. Some of these violent hit your back of your head. Anyways, y'all, protect your peace, protect your power, protect your plates. Mental illness is out. Peace.